We're live. Alright guys, having trouble not laughing because these two are mucking around heaps.
Mucking around? We never muck around.
Before we did this. This is Mick and Walter Haas as part of Team Cranky Ads. We're having our team meeting today and then doing yoga. I thought I'd grab them for the Yarrow.tv video and have a chat and see if they can keep it together long enough to do some reasonable content here.
Sounds good, yeah. What are we talking about?
Yeah, okay, so Walter is our lead engineer and Mick is our lead designer. Those are our fancy names for Cranky Ads, and we've been working for 2 years on this project. It's been certainly an up and down experience. So what I think would be really fun, first of all, is Mick, can you tell everyone what Cranky Ads is?
Cranky Ads is a cool tool so you can put ads on your WordPress website.
Without sounding like a robot.
It's been a while since we did the
spiel.
The spiel.
Yeah, we did a, but you can see it on my YouTube channel, the 60-second video to pitch Cranky Ads. But yeah, so it's an ad rotation management tool, really simple to use. Coded.
Took the words right out of my mouth.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, crankyads.com if you haven't tried it already. So we've been working on it for 2 years now. In that time, we've done a lot of different things. I'm wondering, you know, we came into this expecting it to be probably a lot different than it has been. Software development is a completely different game, certainly from my point of view. But you guys have both worked, well, certainly you, Walter.
I've been working in software since for the last 15 years.
So what are you surprised by so far with Cranky Ads?
Well, feature creep. I mean, feature creep is always a problem with software where you're so mired in what you're doing and getting it right that suddenly just one little tweak and one little tweak and one little tweak, later you're 3 months out of schedule, and you know, you wake up after 3 months and you've done what you shouldn't have been doing.
Yeah,
and what you should be doing is
another.
yes, exactly.
So because this is sort of, I guess, a bit of a different project to what you've worked on before, is it something you guys each are particularly proud of in terms of what it does? Even from a coding point of view, like something that might be not obvious to users of Cranky Ads, but it's actually quite clever behind the scenes.
Oh yes, my favorite feature is the dynamic content management system. So instead of getting, say, an Amazon cloud server or some other content management network, content delivery network, CDN, we actually serve all of our content directly to all of the blogs, and then they serve them locally to their users, just like they would, you know, an image or a JavaScript file. So we don't need a content delivery network ourselves, because our content is just directly served by your blog. That took a little while to work out how to do effectively, but I got it done.
Okay, in layman's terms, that means that
that means that
we don't slow down the loading of your site when you use our plugin, basically. So it's a clever way to make sure Cranky Ads is quite stable as a plugin. So
and it always runs if your server's running, regardless of what our servers are doing.
Right.
And also, if your server goes down, it doesn't make our server go down. So that's
yay for us. Yeah, and vice versa, of course. So, Mick, anything particularly for your experiences?
Building a lot of simplicity and having a real focus on simplicity in the whole application and the design of it, and also in our approach, really, like understanding after a while that there is complexity and more complexity, like Walter sort of said, trying to cut things down, like doing things lean startup way, and pivoting when we need to, when we think like, you know, we could be doing something in a smarter way here. So yeah, definitely that sort of simplicity and adaptability as well.
Yeah. So obviously we're a 3-man team, and this is the first time I've worked with 2 guys who both live in Brisbane. It's usually been one person overseas or just myself and Gideon. So it's a bit of a new experience. How have you guys found, like, do you find 3 is better than 2 or better than 1, or do you like working solo?
Working solo is definitely harder. Not so much from the technical point of view, but bouncing ideas off each other, because usually you get fixated on one problem, not necessarily technical, but a business problem, and you know, just having these two, having everyone to bounce ideas off, you realize.
Plus you get to yoga, which is always fun.
And then eat good food afterwards.
Right.
Sushi.
Yes,
sushi.
We certainly have traditions, don't we, for here. It's like team meeting, then yoga, then sushi. That's what we've been doing for a lot of the time. So maybe end this video with some words of advice for people who, two things, looking about forming a team and doing software. Those are the things that we've obviously done in this. Is there, especially now in hindsight, maybe one from each of you guys, you would tell anyone out there watching this who are thinking about starting a software company and whether they should get partners, it's a good thing, bad thing? Mick?
Yeah, I think it depends on the situation. I don't know, maybe in some projects it is a good idea to do as much as you can to a point where you do need other people. But for this kind of project and the scale that we were initially going for anyway, I definitely think it's been good to have these two guys to work with. And I guess we sort of formed the team. We've got the sort of business marketing kind of guy, the software guy, and then the design guy. So yeah.
So comedic relief as well. So.
Yeah.
Fair call.
My big piece of advice is set goals 3 months in advance for what you expect to happen and what you'll do if that doesn't happen, and if it does happen. So if it does happen, everyone's happy. If it doesn't happen, what do you do? If you don't set those goals, you end up just going further and further along and you don't realise you're feature creeping.
Right, I think that ties into probably what I think is the most important thing, which is managing expectations for this, because we didn't probably do that early on because we didn't realise how wrong our expectations were, I guess is the best way to put it.
Very optimistic.
Yeah, very optimistic, and perhaps thinking we could do way more than we actually could do, certainly in the time frames we were expecting. So I think being realistic in that area, but also having a plan for not meeting what you think you're going to meet. Like, what happens if this happens or this happens? Like, there's a nice programming loop right there, right? So if we get this done, great, we move on, but what happens if we don't? Because that's probably the likely outcome, so we need to have a plan B on that, which forces you to almost be more lean startup, I think, by actually thinking, okay, we're not going to get this done. What can we scale out of this list of things we want to do in 3 months to guarantee that we get it done in 3 months? It's a lot like Evan Pagan's inevitably thinking, because you're basically making the conditions perfect to get an outcome. Like, if you really only have one thing you need to do and you give yourself enough time to do it, then it should happen. So I think we've gotten a lot better at that, more out of necessity, I think, than anything else. We simply had to, not enough time or money. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Great, guys, thank you for joining me today. Again, Mick, Walter, on our Team Cranky Ads meeting day. You can go to crankyads.com right now and use our ad rotator to make money selling ads on your blog, and we're working on a non-WordPress version at the moment too, so it'll be available for every type of website, hopefully sometime this year. And yeah, it's good to go right now though if you're a WordPress blogger and you want to sell ads on your site, so do check it out. Also a great ad management tool if you just want to manage the ads and the affiliate programs on your site as well. So crankyads.com. And my name is Yarrow. You can check out more of my videos on yarrow.tv and opt into my newsletter while you're there. So thanks guys for watching, thanks for joining me, and yeah, catch you soon. Bye bye.
So